To our nation's capital. What a beautiful evening. Great weather here in Washington, D.C. How about we don't talk politics tonight? Instead, let's just have an incredible night for a phenomenal cause. Raise some money. It's called Fight Night for the Kids, where this crowd of 1,800 will be treated to 4 exciting MMA fights, compliments of the Professional Fighters League. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jay Glazer. This is actually my second time hosting Fight Night, because I get to put together 2 of my passions in life. One is paying it forward, helping out others, and the other is combat sports. And this year, Fight Night, that combat sport is mixed martial arts. We come together for such a great cause. And you guys here at Fight Night, you've raised over $60 million since 1990. And the funds go to improve the quality of early childhood education to help out DC students on a path to success. Again, let's have some fun tonight, guys. Let's raise some money. We have 4 huge mixed martial arts fights tonight. And it's headlined by the former World Series of Fighting heavyweight champ, Blagoy Ivanov. He goes against KO Alankar. Folks, 22 finishes between these 2 combatants, 16 in the first round. So the message, don't blink. With that, we're going to go cage side with Sean Willak, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. You saw her before, Kayla Harrison. And El Guapo, former UFC heavyweight champ, Bas Rutten. Guys?
Thank you, Jay. It's absolutely my honor to be here on this great night for the Professional Fighters League and Fight for Children. On tap, a loaded 4-fight card. I'm so pleased to be joined by the legend, Bas Rutten, and 2-time U.S. Olympic gold medalist in judo, Kayla Harrison. Our main event set for the heavyweight division, Kayla, features 2 natural-born finishers, Blagoy Ivanov versus KO Alankar.
Black belt. They both have knockout power. It's going to be an exciting fight, full of fireworks. It could end on the top, or it could end on the ground. I'm excited to see what happens.
A really intriguing co-main event, boss, at 145 pounds. Lance Palmer versus Steven Seiler.
Both these guys really good on the ground, and when you have that situation, most of the time you will see it play out on their feet. So who's going to be the best on the feet? We're going to find out tonight.
2 more very talented heavyweights on this card. Mike Kyle, who largely made his reputation in MMA at 205 pounds, versus Kayla, the really hard-hitting Daniel Gallimore.
Again, another exciting heavyweight fight, Sean. We have 2 guys who have been boxers before, also MMA professional fighters. They both love knockouts. I think between 50 fights, only 4 have gone to decision between the 2 of them. They've both been working on their cardio, but as Daniel said, nobody wants to see fat guys hug, so I expect a knockout.
And we will open the night in the Bantamweight division. Boss, this has all the ingredients to be a really special fight. Timur Valiev versus Josenaldo Silva.
Oh, 2 great strikers. I would say Silva is the guy with the power strikes. He has 15 knockouts under his belt. Valiev is very good on his feet, though. So can Silva land a power shot? We have to watch out. We have to see. But also he has to watch out for the takedown, because Valiev has great takedowns.
Josenaldo Silva, his first combat sport was capoeira at age 15, transitioned into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where he holds the rank of brown belt, and then on to MMA. Boss, he enters tonight in absolutely outstanding form.
Yeah, he's an animal. He's got very explosive power, and he has the reach advantage. Let's see if he can do something with it.
Josenaldo Silva, despite that grappling pedigree, told us in our fighter meeting yesterday he wants to keep this fight standing. So much of his training for this bout involved takedown defense.
Yeah, it's very important, because Valiev, if he gets the time, once you want to hit somebody with everything you got, you need to nail your feet on the ground. The power comes from the ground. You're planting your feet, but as soon as you plant your feet, you might be taken down.
It is our opening fight of the night in the Bantamweight division. Timur Valiev versus Josenaldo Silva.
Woo! And there you see the reach advantage of Silva. And like I said, he's got the power on his side, but can he land a power shot?
Tonight's fights are under the ABC's unified rules of MMA. 3 judges assigned by the Washington, D.C. Commission, scoring the bout on a 10-point must system. All 4 fights tonight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, and there are no kicks or knees to the head of a grounded fighter. Here we go with our cage announcer, the outstanding Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome the best fight fans in the world, streaming live at ProfessionalFightersLeague.com. We are in the most powerful city in the world, here in Washington, D.C. Our first fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Professional Fighters League Bantamweight division. Introducing, on my left, fighting out of the red corner of the Decagon. His record, impressive, 11 victories, 2 defeats. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 136 pounds. Fighting out of Toms River, New Jersey. Introducing Timur Lucky Valiant. His opponent across the Decagon, fighting out of the blue corner. His record also impressive with 25 victories and 5 defeats. 15 wins coming by way of knockout, 4 by submission. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 135 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Salt Lake City, Utah, presenting Naldo Silva. Your referee for this fight is Mario Yamasaki.
Fight for Children, Fight Night 2017. PFL DC. We're at the historic Washington Hilton in the nation's capital. There you see the outstanding referee Mario Yamasaki in charge of this and all 4 fights tonight. So glad you're with us watching live online across the United States, Canada, and around the world. With Kayla Harrison and Boss Root, and I'm Sean Wheelock. The Russian Timur Valiev versus the Brazilian Josinaldo Silva in the Bantamweight division.
Here you go. First fight. You ready? You ready? Let's do this. Come on.
The bell in round number 1. White trunks for Silva, black trunks for Valiev. High tight striking guard as Josinaldo Silva, boss, takes the center of the cage.
It's good. Valiev is using little feints here and there to keep his opponent on his toes.
Working off of the jab, counter right hand, then the left hook from Silva.
Right, you see that? There's a lot of power in those punches.
Outside kick. Much wider striking stance for Valiev.
You know, that's what I like about him. His striking is all over the place. You won't see a repetitive same kick. He's changing it up all the time.
Capoeira-esque on that kick from Silva, and immediately Valiev closes distance. Now into the waist cinch. Thinking about a belly-to-back suplex.
Let's see if he can take him to the ground. We're going to see a nice little armbar like Demetrius Johnson.
Still with back control, holding the waist cinch, short knee, now 1 hook in, reverse back elbow from Silva.
You see, I would keep going with those knees to the thighs. It's such an effective weapon. If you do it correctly with a lot of power and using the kneecap, you can literally stop a fight with 3 knees.
Valiev hitting the takedown. Silva trying to work out a butterfly guard, now posturing, trying to get back to his feet. You see the head pressure on the back of Valiev's head. It's Silva back to his feet. Look at the stickiness of Valiev back to the takedown.
Yes. Costs a lot of energy, but this is the moment he can start resting now. If he can get with that other hook in, his left leg, that would be really great. It's almost like they're talking to each other right there.
You see the 1 hook in, not a rear naked choke, just a crank, not under the chin.
There is a boss with an exorcist move from this position, actually. Yeah, not now anymore.
3:10 remaining, round number 1. 3 big right hands from Timur Valiev. Still, you see the stickiness, holding the gable grip on the waist cinch. No time, no space, boss, thus far for Josinaldo Silva. Looking for the full-on belly-to-back suplex, and he hits it 1 hook in.
Now, you know, yes, his opponent knows, Silva knows he cannot turn on his back, because if that happens, ground and pound is going to hammer down. And Valiev's got some great power in his hands. So he needs to go for a submission right now. Still, of course, you can always... Oh, I thought it was a side shot coming there. Really fast.
Not a guillotine, just a head chancery position held by Timur Valiev. Stabilizing the head, half butterfly guard now for Silva. Thus far in round 1, now closed guard for Silva. The Brazilian playing almost all defense, almost all offense for the Russian from the Republic of Ingushetia, Timur Valiev.
Man, Silva throwing
big
nice
left
elbows
hand
from the ground. You know, and they don't need to be hard. If they're done with the elbow and it hits the face, it might cut him and may stop the fight.
Tight close guard from Silva, but a very defensive guard. You see the high posture from Valiev, then the left hand.
Yeah, it's very hard to submit somebody when they're higher up. So that's what you want to do all the time. Or very, very close, or high up, but you don't want to be in the middle.
Valiev now stacking Silva, opening his guard.
Pass. Yeah, I thought he was going to pass that leg.
Couldn't land the right hand, lands that second right hand. 135 remaining round one.
A lot of fighters do that, you know. They act like they're going to pass. They bring their hand back, but then come down, rain down a big punch. Past one side.
Caught in half guard. Silva fishing for a Kimura with the wrist control. Nothing there, posturing onto his hip.
Yeah, still what he's going to get. It's going to be hard to pull off with one just in the half guard.
Short right hands on his hip from Silva. Has a chance for butterfly guard now to Josinaldo Silva, but Valiev again, heavy top pressure, boss.
That's it. He knows exactly where he's at this moment. He's got great range, great control, great strategy. He just puts himself in the best position possible.
Silva again was fishing for a Kimura from the bottom, couldn't find it. You see Valiev looking over to his corner.
Right away gets a short little left elbow. So don't do that again. You give him space, a strike will come.
Silva again trying to snatch out the left arm of Valiev, trying to look for the Kimura, nothing there, back to close guard. You see Valiev nodding to the instructions of his corner.
Nice elbows there too. But those little short ones from Silva have to watch out for, because if it hits the cheekbone, it might cut him.
15 seconds remaining, round number one of this bantamweight fight. Timur Valiev versus Josinaldo Silva at 135 pounds. Fight for Children, Fight Night 2017, the Professional Fighters League, and we are headed to round two.
Here we go. Double jab, and it gets countered with the cross hook right away. You were talking about that. Now he's got that suplex there, gets his back. And now it's at the center of the ring, more to the center so he can't get up. Big punches raining down, also some great elbows. That's where I thought maybe a side choke was going to come, but it's hard to pull off within a guard of an opponent. Nice short elbows there from Silva, doing a great job. And like I said before, you have to watch out for that, because a little tiny elbow, delivered with the tip of the elbow, can cause a cut. And once that starts bleeding and it's above the eye, it will stop the fight.
Timur Valiev, 11-2 in his pro MMA career, told us in our fighter meeting, as you hear this seconds out whistle, he prides himself on being a very cerebral and very well-rounded fighter. You could see his intelligence and his well-roundedness in that opening 5 minutes.
The smartest thing that he did was right away take it to the ground. I mean, why would you hang with a guy, you know, who had like 21 fights and 15 knockouts? You go like, do I really want to do it? If you're the smart mixed martial artist, you take him to the ground.
Take to Twitter to turn in your round-by-round scorecard. Immediately in round number two, Valiev hits the takedown. Use the hashtag PFL Fight Night.
Yeah, that's what happened. Silva came in a little bit too aggressive, really wanted to hurt him, and that's what I said in the opening. He planted his feet, and immediately he got taken.
Scramble by Silva. Looking for the front choke, couldn't find the guillotine. Knee, and then a swing and a miss on the exit from Silva. Simultaneous kicks, big right hand from Silva.
You know, he has to watch out there. Valiev shouldn't throw a single kick. He should throw punches first, set it up, because as you saw, Silva countered it right away.
Kick caught again. Silva being a bit more conservative now, pushing Valiev back. Nice turn by Timur Valiev. Fishing for an ankle lock, nothing there.
He should grab the ankle so he can't get bumped off, just to make sure. Or do that.
Valiev could possibly step over an inverted triangle. You see his left leg under the chin of Silva. And that's, boss, what Silva's defending is that inverted triangle.
Oh, yeah, he's holding very close to him. He knows that might happen. So this guy really knows what happens on the ground. He's a very good submission fighter himself. Great sprawl there.
And again, the stickiness from Timur Valiev. Trying to step in. Silva defending that one hook from going in. You see the back control and the big knee to the rib cage.
That I love. They should just keep on doing that. Why not? One is good, two is better. That's my motto.
Valiev said, I'm more skillful than Josinaldo Silva, and I'm a lot more creative. He's showing skill and he's showing creativity in round number 2. As he did in round 1, one hook in, thinking rear naked choke to finish. Now both hooks in. See the hand fighting of Josinaldo Silva. And trying smartly to clear the legs. Got the one hook out, now flattens himself out.
Beautiful. Wow.
Took away the choke, but Boss gives up full mount in the process.
Yeah, he's really good. Very top heavy right now as well. Just let him turn in between his legs, and he's got mount position. This is crazy.
Silva trying to explode up, now in half butterfly guard. Good right hand from the bottom from Silva.
And both guys doing great, considering they didn't fight for a year, both of them. You know, it's been a year ago, especially for Timur, because he had a hand injury, totally cleared from that, and Silva as well. December, I believe, was his last fight against Marlon Moraes.
This is the 31st pro MMA fight for Josinaldo Silva. 25-5 is his pro MMA record as he enters. But certainly he lost round number 1 on the 3 DC commission judges scorecards, and he's definitely losing round number 2. A better round for Silva, and you can certainly win a round by being the bottom fighter, but you have to be active with your subs. Silva largely defending, now posturing onto his hip.
Yeah, a better game plan for him will be coming out in round number 3, wait for Valiev to attack. You know, once you start attacking, planting your feet, you always set yourself up for a takedown.
That was a forearm smash after an elbow from Valiev. 90 seconds remaining, round number 2. Dangerously close to a headbutt there for Valiev. No warning for Mario Yamasaki. And again, you see Timur Valiev looking over to his corner, hooking a half Nelson. Relatively rare in MMA in 2017, but the half Nelson driving pressure.
Yeah, and if he turns back, he might get caught in a side choke. I'm thinking, no, he's got it. Okay. I thought his left leg from Valiev was not in between his legs. So that
big right hands, and those are unfettered shots. You see the head position of Timur Valiev. It's only a headbutt if you raise your head back and then strike your opponent, not just in your opponent's head, but anywhere, the body anywhere. But Valiev using his head, Boss, as a pivot, as a lever, and that is legal and smart.
Very smart. Look at those shots.
Big
puts
right
him
hand.
back on his back.
Silva maintaining half guard. Valiev, no hard effort to pass. Full control, 35 seconds now remaining, round number 2. One-way traffic at the moment in the PFL cage.
Oh, some nice strikes there. He's cut. We see Silva is cut right now.
Blood all over the face, all over the forehead of Josinaldo Silva. High close guard. Valiev looking to stack.
They're talking and smiling against each other.
That right hand, then the left gets through. Silva cut outside of his left brow.
Stop!
We are headed to the 3rd and final round.
Puts him back.
Don't
Nice.
hit the bell before I start the fight, please. I start the fight and you can hit the bell.
We're so pleased to be joined by Kayla Harrison, the great judo player, 2 Olympic gold medals, and she is with us now.
That's right, guys. I was just in Timur's corner where his coach, Ricardo Almeida, was telling him to hold a little less and hit a little more. He wants him to see on top, staying in control, but really using his ground and pound to more of his advantage. So hitting a little bit more and holding a little bit less.
Thank you, Kayla. To the corner of Timur Valiev. There is the slice over the right brow. There's also a slight cut outside of the left brow for Josinaldo Silva. That's really a slice more than a cut, and that certainly is from an elbow, Boss.
Yep, it had to be from that. And you know, once it starts trickling in the eye, that's a problem. But I have the feeling that our cut men here are really good at what they're doing, and they will stop the bleeding.
Here we go,
Or
last
maybe just a
round. You
little
ready?
trickle.
You ready? Let's go.
Nasty
Come on.
cut. Certainly not a fight-stopping cut. It's close to the optic nerve. That's when the cage side physicians get nervous. That's just the hazards of MMA. A slice to the forehead. No good right hand from Silva as we open round number 3. Again, give us your round-by-round scorecard. Join the global conversation with other MMA and PFL fans on Twitter. Use the hashtag PFL Fight Night. Really, the only suspense on the scorecards thus far, boss, was there a 10-8 round in round number 1. For me, it's a dominant 10-9, and then closer, but still a 10-9 for Valiev round 2.
I think so, too. I think that in order for Silva to win this fight, he needs a submission or a knockout.
Driving in on the takedown from Valiev off of this single leg, following through. Close guard for Josinaldo Silva. As you're thinking about a 10-8 round, look for the 3Ds. Damage, domination, duration. I think in round number 1, we definitely saw duration. We saw domination. I don't think we saw enough damage for a 10-8. Valiev, though, continuing to cruise in this fight. Largely playing all offense and hitting that takedown. Back to work with his top game in the elbows. 3:45 to go, third and final round. Right to the body. Again, boss, we see the stacked leg control from Valiev.
It's a great thing. You know, what you need to do in order to strike with power, you need a lot of space. The longer a strike is traveling, the more power it can develop. Same with the kick and with the punch. So what he's doing is posturing up. He gives himself some space, so his right straight, or his hook, whatever he's throwing, he can throw with power, and it's on the way for a long time, getting more and more power.
Silva punching and now trying to push off. But still playing bottom game jiu-jitsu with some punches.
Looking for a reversal maybe now. Just to get up and see if he can do a wall walk on the cage.
Valiev thinking rear naked choke, one hook in a crank position, not under the chin. Now under the chin, looking for the finish on the rear naked choke.
He might have it.
Mario Yamasaki taking a close look, pushing off the cage of Silva. There's the tap, and there is the win for Timur Valiev. A quality 3-round performance, and now 12 pro MMA victories for Timur Valiev, just like that. All right, here we go. Nice short elbow to soften him up, let him think about other things. Some hammer strikes there, always good to do, to distract your opponent. And there we have the finish. Once he wrapped it around underneath the chin, yep, it was all she wrote. That was it. The hand fighting, and then the tap. That is truly tap or nap, boss. A smile really on the face of Timur Valiev.
Yeah, people don't realize, but it's you have about 5 seconds, and that's it. Let's take a look at it from a different angle here. Yeah, it's all wrapped up. He fights it well the first time, but Valiev adjusted his grip, and now start pulling back his shoulders. That's how you close the distance with a choke, and he's got him.
Third round submission win for Timur Valiev. Really a thorough and at times dominating performance all the way to the finish line. Here is Jazz Sakuro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight ends with a tap out due to a rear naked choke at 2 minutes and 12 seconds of the third round. For your winner, Timur Lucky Valiev.
The winner, by way of third round submission, Timur Valiev defeats Josinaldo Silva. A finish in our opening bout of the night, that at 135 pounds. Very likely we will see a finish in this fight, set for the heavyweight division. Mike Kyle versus Daniel Gallimore. Both fighters, boss, telling us this is going to be quick, this is going to be violent. One way or another, this is ending in a knockout.
You know, it's already, Kayla already said it. You know, they had about 50 fights between the both of them. Only 4 of those fights went to a decision. Winning or losing, these guys leave it there in the cage, which makes for a spectacular fight.
We'll do one and then I think they have a break of 10 minutes.
Thank you.
But now I think they're going to come in the next fight.
Mike Kyle made his pro MMA debut March of 2001 at age 20. I think he's often confused for a much older fighter. 37 years old, still relevant in MMA, boss. Making the transition where he largely made his reputation in the UFC at 205 pounds, now is a heavyweight. When you look at him, it's hard to believe he ever fought at 205.
You know, this guy also, I was thinking about this yesterday, he came from the street. Right? He was, you know, whatever happened, he needed to win the fight. So in the beginning, he did some dirty things. He was known like put a finger in the eye or what, you know. So you go like, hey, he cannot do that, but he just needed the acclamation. And suddenly when he started to become a real mixed martial artist, then you get into the whole groove of respect and all the things else. He lost that and he became this super clean fighter with enormous power. You know, either he is going to get knocked out or he will knock you out. That's his mindset. He doesn't care about anything else. He wants to make a spectacular fight for the fans. And we always love it. That's why, like you always said, he's still relevant. People love guys like that.
Daniel Gallimore, his last 3 fights in Victory Fighting Championship, where he reigned as the heavyweight title, now in the PFL. Daniel Gallimore, his last 3 fights, finishing all in under 1 minute 40 seconds.
Yeah, he never went through a decision, you know, in his winning fights. This guy knocks everybody out. The only downside I saw with him is sometimes he throws single kicks, and everybody who knows me knows I always talk about that. Against Kyle, a guy like that who has really great counter strikes, he has to watch out for that. So if he wants to kick, he needs to set up with some shots and then land the kick.
There you see Mike Kyle has fought in the UFC, WEC, Strikeforce, Pancrase, ACB. 22 pro MMA wins, 18 of those by way of finish.
Yeah, man, I've always been a big fan of his. I like fighters like this, like a Chuck Liddell, you know, like guys who, you know, when you see them fight, this is going to be fight. You know, they will never hold back, never lay down, never do. They will make it exciting. It doesn't matter if the opponent is boring, he will make it exciting.
Time now to do the numbers in the heavyweight division. Mike Kyle versus Daniel Gallimore.
Oh, only the weight we see are about 20 pounds. You know, reach advantage is the same. Age, well, that doesn't really matter. 6'3", 6'5". Oh, who can land that first big shot?
Back we go to Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Professional Fighters League heavyweight division. And now introducing on my right, fighting out of the blue corner of the decagon. His record, 7 victories, 3 defeats. He is currently riding a 3-fight win streak, standing 6 feet 5 inches tall, weighing 261 pounds, fighting out of Denver, Colorado by way of Emporia, Kansas. Introducing Daniel Big Kansas Gallimore. His opponent across the decagon, fighting out of the red corner, his record, 22 victories, 15 losses, 1 draw, and 2 no contests. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall. He weighs 241.5 pounds. Fighting out of the fight capital of Las Vegas, Nevada, presenting Mike Kyle. Your referee for this contest is Mario Yamasaki.
There is certainly no guarantees in mixed martial arts, but in all likelihood, this will not go the full 3 rounds in 15 minutes.
You're right, buddy. Oh, I love it.
Mike Kyle versus Daniel Gallimore. Jam-packed tonight.
Oh, I love
it. A historic night. Fight for Children, the first time since this great charity, this great event began in 1990, featuring MMA. We're at the Washington Hilton, the nation's capital.
You ready? Let's go. Come on.
Mario Yamasaki starts this heavyweight bout. Touch of gloves. Round number 1. Red trunks for Mike Kyle. White trunks for Daniel Gallimore. To the body, swing and a miss with the left hook from Kyle.
I love that combination already going down. It works even better if you lower yourself in the right body shot, because then the fighter across you will automatically look down to see what happens, and that will open up the hook. Oh, something happened there to Gallimore.
Big knee to the shoulder and another downward elbow strike.
Oh.
Gallimore is a contact lens wearer. I wonder if perhaps a contact lens fell out.
I had that many times in mixed martial arts because I was still wearing contacts when I was
Good
fighting.
left hook and then a right hand to answer from Gallimore. Gallimore again covering up. Kyle working off the jab, the uppercut. Gallimore taking a backward step. Big knee
nice
now
knee.
from Kyle and another. Kyle looking to finish. And he
got to
does.
finish. Yeah, it seemed to me something happened in the beginning of the fight.
A lightning strike win for Mike Kyle, and indeed he is still relevant in MMA. Almost a surreal moment, early stages of this fight. Gallimore moving backwards very defensively without seemingly taking a big shot, but in that closing sequence, he took many big shots from Mike Kyle. Set up with that uppercut, almost a bolo punch on the angle, and then to the knees and to the finish by way of first round TKO for Mike Kyle. Now 23 pro MMA wins, again in this amazing career that began in March 2001.
101. Huh? You gotta go? All right, let's go. Look at his mouthpiece.
Let's go to Boss Rutan.
So he's going to the hospital. You see his mouthpiece?
Again, here's my broadcast partner in the cage, Boss Rutan with Mike Kyle.
Man, okay, what a fight we just saw here, Mike. This is the craziest thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has stopped the fight at 1 minute and 1 second of round number 1. Officially a TKO due to strikes for your winner, Mike Kyle!
Mike, well, both of you guys said in the fighters meeting yesterday, you do not want to go to the distance, right? That was the first thing. Your opponent said, yeah, nobody likes to see two fat guys, big guys hug, so I'm going to go for the knockout. Well, you had it tonight. Was it something you expected, or was it easier than you thought?
You know, it was a good show. I respect my opponent, but like you said earlier, we both knew that one of us was going down tonight. We're coming in here with respect, and we just want to throw punches at each other, knock each other out, give the fans what they want to see.
Okay, I believe we're going to take a look at a short little clip right there at the replay. And then why don't you talk us through the replay, as they always say?
Uppercut, hook. I'm backing up, circling out, staying away from his power. I could look to throw the uppercut again, land the uppercut. Now I'm looking for my elbow. Knee. I finish up with the elbow.
That was it. That was all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Mario Yamasaki saw it was the end. Man, you've been this guy who's always give it. You know, whatever happens, you either get knocked out, and you say that in fights before the fight. I like to just give the people here in the attendance a show, and you're doing it all the time.
Yeah, God bless everyone out here. Thanks for coming. I want to thank everyone out in Las Vegas. Vegas strong, baby. And everyone else. I respect all your government staff out there that's serving for us and doing everything that you do. And I just thank you, everyone. God bless you all for coming out. And Vegas strong, baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mike Kyle.
Mike Kyle said when he began MMA, he was a great athlete. Now he said, I'm a great stand-up fighter. And indeed, he looked like a great stand-up fighter in that win versus Daniel Gallimore. Victorious by way of first round TKO, Mike Kyle defeats Daniel Gallimore. 2 more fights still headed your way after this brief intermission.
Access. Meet and greet with the fighters, behind the scenes, and autographed gear. That's 2 nights at the New York Hilton for 4 people. Now pay attention. This is for New Year's Eve, December 2018. So you are going to bring in the 2019 New Year. Make your plans for 15 months from now. It's going to be you and 3 friends, the helicopter, the VIP Fighters League treatment, and the Hilton. How much? I'm going to buy about here, $7 $20,000. And now 20 grand. He'll be 15, $10,000. And now $10,000. How to get a 10, $5,000. How to get a $5,000. And now $5 $5 grand. And $5,000. How to get a $5,000. Now $5 grand, $5,000. Do you want her? And now $2,000, $3,000. And now $2,000. Now $3,000. Do you want her? And now 3, 4. And now $3,000 for you to buy $5,000. And now 5, 5. Give it the money, 5. Give it the money, $5,000. How to get a 5, 5. Give it the money, $5,000 bid. And now $5 grand. And now $5,000. How to get a $5 grand. How to get a $5,000. Give it the money, $5,000. Do you want her? And now $5,000. And now $5 grand. Curvin, where you at? And now 5. Now 7. And now 5, 7, 6. Now 7 down another. And now 7,000 you want her. And now 7 grand. And now $6,000. Now $7,000. How to get a 7 to buy him. And now 7,000 do you want her. And now 7 to buy him bid. That's good. And now $7,000. 6,000 if you want to do it. And 6,000.
time when you see two great submission specialists going at it, they will fight the fight on their feet. So I really wonder if this is going to happen and who's going to win.
Kayla, we know that Seiler has a really good ground game, but he told us, I want to have fun, I want to be creative, I want to keep this fight standing.
He seemed very, very relaxed when we talked to him yesterday. He said he has no pressure left. He said he's ready to go out, have fun, and enjoy putting on a performance for everyone here tonight.
Steven Seiler enters in outstanding form. 9 times he fought in the UFC, 29 pro MMA victories, 15 of those by way of submission. Lance Palmer, a 4-time NCAA Division I Wrestling All-American at Ohio State, was twice the World Series of Fighting Featherweight champion. A brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he told us in our fighter meeting he feels he's able, much like Ben Askren, much like Tyron Woodley, to incorporate Jiu-Jitsu and folk-style wrestling into a very effective wrestling MMA ground game. Our tale of the tape for this featherweight fight, Lance Palmer versus Steven Seiler.
Wow, almost identical.
Back we go to the cage and Jazz Securo.
Once again, welcoming the fight fans streaming live at ProfessionalFightersLeague.com. This round is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Professional Fighters League Featherweight division. This is your co-main event of the night. Introducing on my right, fighting out of the blue corner of the Decagon. His record, 29 victories, 16 defeats. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing 145.5 pounds. Fighting out of Provo, Utah. Introducing Steven Seiler. His opponent across the Decagon, fighting out of the red corner. His record, 11 victories with only 3 defeats. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds, fighting out of Sacramento, California, presenting Lance the Party Palmer. And when the Decagon door closes, your referee is Mario Yamasaki.
Mario Yamasaki, the outstanding referee, in charge of this and indeed all 4 fights tonight. Fight Night 2017, Fight for Children. This is our co-main event. Lance Palmer versus Steven Seiler.
You know, Seiler said he really focused on his takedown defense for this fight. Let's see if he's able to, in fact, defend some of these takedowns that Lance is undoubtedly going to open up with.
The bell in round number 1. Black trunks, blue trim for Lance Palmer. Black trunks, red trim for Steven Seiler. Teep kick doesn't get through from Palmer.
Seiler's really good on his distance right now. Moves exactly the same amount backwards as Lance comes forward, but there's the takedown.
Yeah, and the double leg. You see the control and trying to walk up the body.
I mean, this guy, in my books, if he would have focused, he could have gone to the Olympics in wrestling.
Absolutely.
Half butterfly guard looking for the sweep is Seiler. Seiler made it clear he does not want to play. Gogoplata looking, trying to bring the shin under the chin. Palmer having none of it.
That would be something. First one I ever saw was Diaz versus Gomi. That was the first time I saw somebody finishing it in a major fight.
Shinya Aoki also hit it. Gogoplata is the shin over the shoulder and then under the throat. Tough to get it at this level in MMA, but it can happen.
Look at that flexibility.
And he still has his hand there. You know, it's the mission control thing.
Seiler, though, made it clear he does not want to play on the ground. Trying the somersault out now in the full butterfly guard.
You see, now this I didn't expect. I thought these guys were going to put it on their feet. You know, because both these guys, most victories they have came by way of submission. Now, when you see that normally, fighters will fight it out on their feet.
Lance showing off his All-American wrestling skills right away, though.
Very smart.
Seiler told us in our fighter meeting, he said, I'm so content with my bottom game jiu-jitsu. Sometimes I'm too content. I really think that that's cost me in numerous losses in my career.
Oh, here we go. Look at it. He's looking for the Gogoplata again.
2 Gogoplata attempts. And Seiler, just where he wants to be. range on his feet, center of the cage. Now walking down Lance Palmer. 3 minutes remaining, round number 1. Seiler clowning now. The wide open stance, misses with the head kick and the spin. Big left hand from Palmer, and he pounces. Now looking to finish. Mario Yamasaki taking a really close look. Palmer sees the finish line, trying to reach it with the ground and pound.
He needs to pass that right leg in order to do that.
Yamasaki was 1-2 blows at most away from stopping this fight, but we fight on. 2:30 remaining, round number 1. Seiler was in all sorts of trouble. Palmer again trying to pass. Seiler now back to full guard. Short right hand from Steven Seiler. Seiler again the flexibility, the very active bottom game. Up elbow. That was legal. Just off the nape of the neck, just off the crown of the head. Short right hand now from Seiler on the bottom. Left to counter from Palmer.
You know, at this distance, there's not a lot of strikes that can really do some damage.
No,
maybe elbows because it's too close. Palmer needs to posture up, get some space, and then start throwing down some bombs. But when he does that, he might set himself up for a reversal or for a sweep.
As a tight guard from Seiler, but heavy top control. You see Palmer basing on his right knee.
Here we go again.
I feel like this break has really given Seiler a chance to recover from those heavy blows earlier. He's definitely getting his composure back.
Seiler was fishing for the omoplata a moment ago, looking for the shoulder lock, couldn't find it.
I thought he was going to hook that left leg and try to go for an armbar. For a moment there, he went for it, but he stopped.
Elbow doesn't get through from Palmer. That's a tricky guard from Seiler. Palmer doing well to maintain his base, but you see being kept chest to chest and out of full striking ground and pound range.
That's the thing, you know, you need to be there. But for him, in order to land with power, he needs to posture up more. But once he postures up more, you know,
dangerous.
the other
Once you posture up, you lose control, you know?
You lose control. They can kick you away. They can sweep you. They can do anything.
But
Seiler looking for a triangle now, walking his guard up, walking his legs up, can't find it. Palmer too heavy, keeping his center of gravity low. Note the head position of Lance Palmer.
Yeah, he needs to pass an arm right first, and Palmer knows this. Training there with Alpha
30
Male.
seconds left in the fight.
All these guys are such a great submission, guys. It's very like putting a guillotine on Lance Palmer and trying to get a finish. It's not going to work.
There's the stand-up ordered by Mario Yamasaki.
And I liked it. It's a good stand-up. Nothing really happened.
Swing and a miss, certainly to the benefit of Seiler. Jump knee and then caught by Palmer.
Nice takedown.
Possible triangle position now for Seiler. Final seconds remaining, round number 1. The triangle isn't there. The stack from Palmer. We are headed to round 2.
Okay, you got to do this. Pull out. You know, every time when you turn, you always have to throw a back fist or a kick. Just always do it, because if you do that at that particular moment, you're open for a counter.
Absolutely.
Always throw something.
And I mean, we know that Seiler said he was, you know, calm, cool, and collected and going to have fun, but you don't want to have that much fun. You don't want to be that relaxed.
Especially against a guy like Lance Palmer, because Lance is so good at taking you down.
He's absolutely great at taking his shots.
Plus, he has way less than half the amount of fights that Seiler has, but still, this is a guy who had and we were talking about
sharp.
it, what, 200 wrestling matches?
Right.
You know, so they're way ahead of this. I love it.
Lance Palmer, 1 week from tomorrow, marrying his fiancée, Jessica Schieffer, who is in attendance tonight here in Washington, D.C.
We need to get a close-up on that one. Where is she?
Heading into round number 2. Again, let us know your round-by-round scorecard. Join the global conversation on Twitter. Use the hashtag PFL Fight Night. You see the show of respect as the two fighters touch gloves.
I'm amazed we didn't see any inside low kicks, because every time when you have a fighter who faces another fighter who has a different stance, you will see that. Straights to the body and inside low kicks and uppercuts.
Seiler trying to walk down Palmer.
There's the inside low kick.
Trying to change the tempo, the rhythm of this match here, early stages, round 2. Looking for the level change. Palmer said, I won't force takedowns, but I'll seize the openings when they present themselves. We saw that in round 1.
We certainly did. He took that flying knee, turned it right into a takedown.
The takedowns, of course, even if you're a 4-time Division I Wrestling All-American like Lance Palmer,
From the great state of Ohio.
Absolutely. And I'm a Kansan. I know how good wrestling is in Ohio. They are increasingly difficult to hit no matter who you are as a fight progresses in MMA.
And you have to remember, wrestling and wrestling for MMA are two completely different things.
Oh, yes.
Inside kick from Palmer. Wide open stance from Seiler.
It's like fighting in a dojo and fighting for real. Are two completely different things.
You can say that again.
Much better round for Seiler. Again, trying to walk down Palmer, defending the one takedown attempt from Palmer.
He's got a single.
Couldn't defend that, running the pipe as Lance Palmer and hitting the single.
That's the thing, you know, once a wrestler like him grabs a hold of something, it's going to go down.
Half guard held by Seiler. Exactly where he does not want to be, exactly where Palmer wants to be. 3:20 remaining round number 2 of this featherweight fight.
He needs to sweep. He needs to sweep, push his left leg more under the chest and then reverse him to the left. It's a really kind of cool reversal. But again, you're talking about a 4-time Division I wrestling champion. You know, it's a very hard thing to pull off.
You see the wrist control, the left arm. Now the step over the explosion. Couldn't fully pass, though, into the closed guard of Seiler.
That's so alpha male, man. These guys are the best at what they're doing on the ground.
Seiler has been threatening with a triangle, hasn't fully committed, trying to walk up his guard. Boom. Mini power bomb, not much there. Doesn't open up the full guard. Still legs crossed.
Mini.
It wasn't Rampage Jackson, was it?
Against Arona?
No. Against Ricardo Arona and Pride. That was not it.
Oh, nice elbow.
2:25 remaining round number 2. Open guard now from Seiler. Seiler looking to explode up. Finding no joy, though. Heavy top pressure from Palmer. One of his hallmarks of his MMA grappling.
He needs to start working. This is the thing. Sorry, Kenna, but most of the time when you face a really good ground fighter and you in your mind you think there's no way I can sweep him. But because and he knows that you are not well versed on the ground. So most of the time, it's a really great moment for you to try that sweep because they will not expect it.
Exactly.
Right?
And Seiler said he drilled and drilled and drilled, getting up from the bottom over and over and over again for this camp.
Because it was his kryptonite. That's his words.
On social media all night long, join the global conversation, hashtag PFL Fight Night. Communicate around the world with other MMA and professional fighting league fans.
Seiler again comes up with it. He's going to try to pull it over the head. No, not now because he stops it with his left leg. But yeah, it's a very smart way from Seiler right now to stop Palmer from striking with power. You know, pull him on top of you, bring your legs all the way up. And what Palmer needs to do is just
looking for an omoplata now. Trying to come over the shoulders, not going to find it. This stack from Palmer. Heavy and high on the stack, and you see Palmer keeping his forehand into the chest of Steven Seiler.
Yeah, so he just wants to break this grip. Yep. I would stand all the way up now. Just stand up and just slam it down.
Good left hand from Palmer.
He might take your advice, boss.
You know, that's the problem when they can hear you while you're doing the commentating.
It's an interesting...
Full on the stack now, back to a base on his knees is Palmer. And again, trying to walk up and through, now looking to pass. Into the half guard now for Palmer. That was slick, and a big left hand. Seiler thought about selling out, exploding up.
Mirko Cro Cop came to me after a fight in Japan because the audience is so quiet. He says, you got to stop talking. Everything I wanted to do, you were telling me before I wanted to do.
Final seconds now, round number 2.
Yeah.
Lance Palmer versus Steven Seiler at 145 pounds. And we are headed to the 3rd and final round.
There we go. We got the single leg, moves to the side. Man, you give him 1 inch and he will take you down. He tries to slam him and see if he can break the grip, but come on, there's adrenaline involved. It's not really a big slam. What he needed to do is get all the way up and then drop down, because then you force the opponent to break his fall. And when he does that, he hits both hands on the side to break the fall on his back, which opens the hands, and that's the moment you can get out.
I gotta tell you though, Lance, he's coming off a big hand surgery. He's got titanium plates in there. He's had a little bit of a layoff, and I'm really impressed with how he looks. Not only, with his takedowns, but standing as well. He's really been able to use his striking to open up and make his wrestling very effective.
He's a smart guy. He's always been. He's got less than half the amount of fights of his opponent, but he's just really seasoned. And it's because, what I said already before, what you said, he probably had 200 wrestling matches. They're not calm and relaxed. It's like Sakuraba. Sakuraba, when he went to fight, he was a pro wrestler, and everybody said, why is he so good?
Another big takedown.
Used to the audience.
Uh-oh, he's got a guillotine.
Looking for the guillotine now. Doesn't have the hips in. Now to the mounted guillotine.
For me,
looking for the come from behind victory is Steven Seiler. Not going to get it.
To me, if somebody can pull off a guillotine on an alpha male fighter, that will be the most crazy thing I've ever seen. Because those guys, that's their bread and butter. So he knows how to escape it. And you just saw that.
There was a flash there for Seiler. He rolled into the mounted guillotine, didn't fully have his hips committed.
Really good reaction by Seiler, though, to go straight for that.
Palmer popping his head free, back to the center of the cage. 4:15 remaining, third and final round of this key featherweight fight. 11-win Lance Palmer versus 29-win Steven Seiler.
Oh, and by the way, we have the man, the myth,
Another
Uriah
takedown.
Faber, the owner of Alpha Male, right here watching this fight right now in the corner of Lance Palmer.
Palmer looking so strong, so effective with his takedowns. Again, threatening possibly with an omoplata over the shoulder. And again, looking for the go-go plata. Third attempt.
But he needs to put his right foot down he needs to have way more pressure on the back of Lance Palmer, because otherwise he's going to pop up.
Seiler trying to pull the throat onto his shin. Palmer smartly just turning his head, alleviating the pressure.
And what he does with that is also he leaves one artery open on the left side of his head, so then he keeps on getting blood delivered to the brain, which is a very important thing, because otherwise you're going to pass out, right?
Triangle was there for the briefest of moments for Seiler. Could not seize the opportunity. Back to low close guard.
At this point in the third round, with 3 minutes left, you really got to think Seiler's got to get up. He's got to try and do something. He's got to try and make some big action happen and go for a knockout, because it's going to be real tough to submit Lance Palmer from this position.
And he needs what he said, that he worked on his kryptonite on the ground.
Looking for the armbar now.
Sweeps. He needs to be on top. He can't be here.
This is a better round for Steven Seiler, continuing to attack. Shades of Kazushi Sakuraba with the ear slaps on the bottom.
Yeah, but they're not really slaps. He needs to load them up. Make it count.
Under the ABC's unified rules of MMA scoring criteria, you can certainly win a round as the bottom fighter on the ground, but you have to do what Seiler is doing, play offense, continuing to attack with submissions.
Seiler is definitely being the aggressor. He's definitely being way more active, but I just think after the first 2 rounds, it's going to be really tough.
Can opener position. Again, walking up the guard. The omoplata has been there, trying to transition out to the omoplata.
It's the go-go again.
And the go-go plata back with the shin under the throat. I haven't seen a go-go plata attempted in the last 5 years, and this is 4 in this fight. It's audacious from Seiler. He said he wanted to have fun and be creative.
He is certainly that.
Up elbows from Steven Seiler.
Lance looks a little stuck there.
Now taking
now
the
he's got
back.
the back.
That's classic folk style wrestling. Now trying to flatten out Seiler as Lance Palmer. Looking for the rear naked choke to finish. 1:25 remaining, third and final round. Seiler looking to go out through the back door. So difficult. You see the hip pressure. The hips committed from Palmer, getting a little high in the ride now. Again, shooting through, trying to flatten out with both hooks in Seiler.
Really nice control by Lance.
That's the thing with Palmer, man. That camp, every time I go back to the camp, because they're so good on the ground, and they're all wrestlers, they know exactly how to
Looking for the head knock choke.
Yeah, he might roll into it. If Seiler now rolls to the right, he's going to get locked up in the head and arm. He's got to watch out. That's why he didn't do it.
Again, both hooks in. Again, looking for the rear naked choke, getting very late in this fight. 40 seconds remaining, third and final round. There's a lot of squeeze now. That is more of a crank than a choke. You see the pressure on the jaw. A lot of squeeze, a lot of crank now from Lance Palmer looking to finish.
Those hurt.
Well,
trying to finish on the neck crank is Palmer.
There is a way to do this. It's to go over, grab your own shoulder, and pull your shoulders back. That's how I finished the fight one time. I won a fight actually like that with one hand.
Final seconds now. Palmer still with the back mount, getting very high. Seiler pulling through the back door. Back to his feet. That's the end of this fight. You see Palmer cut in the third round in his right brow. Immediately being tended to by the legendary cornerman, Jacob Stitch Duran.
Love.
That was a quality fight.
Oh, I love it. Look at it here. Just drives through to the side. Yeah. And he thinks he has him in the guillotine, but it's the alpha male submission.
But that is a really, really good transition by Seiler to get right on that.
I know, but I'm telling you, all these alpha male guys have the best guillotines, so it's always moving to the side.
Just right to the takedown. Really good fight. I feel like, Lance was able to go out there and really implement his game in a much better way. Seiler just didn't have an answer for those takedowns and ended up on the bottom just a little bit too much.
And that's why he said his kryptonite is takedown defense. You know what I did? I went to Colorado and I trained with the Olympic team there at the Olympic Center.
Well, that's what you got to do. If I were him, I would have been knocking on, Kyle Snyder's door.
Yeah.
Great respect between Lance Palmer and Steven Seiler. Hard fought, well fought over the full 3 rounds, the full 15 minutes from both men. Let's go to Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of professional fightings, we will go to your judges' scorecards. Judges Paul Wallace and Wayne Smith score at 30-27. Judge Stephen Rada scores at 30-26 for your winner by unanimous decision, Lance the Party Palmer.
A better round 3 for Steven Seiler. A lot of submission attempts, very active with his bottom game jiu-jitsu in round 3, but ultimately Lance Palmer, too good with the takedowns, too heavy with the top game. The winner by way of unanimous decision, Lance Palmer defeats Steven Seiler. Plenty to come, PFL in 2018.
The crowd loving this action. Wow! 7 weight classes. And boom! Look at that power. $7 million winners. Oh, he connects.
Okay.
Largest tournament in MMA history. Can he finish it? That is crazy. That is it. The Professional Fighters League coming 2018.
Fight for Children, Fight Night 2017. We're at the historic Washington Hilton in Washington, D.C. So pleased that you're with us, watching online around the world with Kayla Harrison and Boss Rutan. I'm Sean Wheelock, and we are now set for our main event of the evening in the heavyweight division. Blagoy Ivanov versus Caio Alencar. Caio Alencar holds the rank of black belt in both judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Enters tonight 11-1.
And why do you think he's so good? Because he has 3 older sisters.
That's right.
That's the reason he became so good.
He told us he grew up with 4 moms.
He needed to defend his sisters when he was the youngest sibling. and he still had to defend them, so he became a fighter.
Blagoy Ivanov, the final World Series of Fighting heavyweight champion, was the gold medalist at the 2008 World Sambo Championships. Famously defeated Fedor Emelianenko in the semifinals. That really elevated his reputation in combat sports. This promises to be an outstanding heavyweight fight. Time now for the numbers in the heavyweight division. Blagoy Ivanov versus Caio Alencar.
31, 38, 5'11", 6'4", 80-inch, 73-inch. It's going to be a big difference because 6'4" and 5'11" also gives you more reach, and he's got the 80-inch reach advantage.
Back we go to Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main event of the night. Professional Fighters League in conjunction with Fight Night DC. Are you ready for everybody streaming live at ProfessionalFightersLeague.com and everybody in the building tonight? It's about to go down. Somebody make some noise! We're scheduled for 3 rounds in the Professional Fighters League heavyweight division. Introducing on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, his record is impressive. 11 victories and only 1 defeat. He is currently riding a 4-fight win streak. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 253.5 pounds, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, by way of Natal, Brazil. Introducing Caio Alencar. And now across the decagon, fighting out of the red corner, his record 15 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest, 7 wins by knockout, 5 by submission. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 262 pounds, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Sofia, Bulgaria, presenting Blagoy Baga Ivanov. Your referee is Mario Yamasaki.
Caio Alencar enters tonight having won his last 4 fights, 3 of those by way of first-round finish, 15 pro MMA victories for Blagoy Ivanov. Of those 15, 8 coming by way of first-round finish. 2 skillful, athletic, technical, and hard-hitting fighters. Our main event of the night, PFL Fight Night, Fight for Children.
There we go, first round, you ready?
Alencar said this is the biggest fight of his career. Let's see if he can step up to the challenge.
Round number 1. White trunks for Blagoy Ivanov, the Bulgarian. Blue trunks for the Brazilian Caio Alencar. Ivanov out of the southpaw stance, hands very low. Ivanov in our fighter meeting told us he wants to take this fight to the inside. Feint by Ivanov. Alencar, outside kick, taking Ivanov off of his striking line.
It always makes me nervous when they start slow like this, because you know something's going to happen eventually.
Exactly.
Hands wide open for Ivanov. Feint on the kick from Alencar. Feint on the right hand.
It means Ivanov is saying, throw that right kick. I will trade it for a left straight because it's faster. It's a straight line and you're kicking in a curve.
Ivanov showing tremendous patience, trying to solve the distance. Again, backing off of his striking line, off of the outside kick of Caio Alencar. Still very much in a feeling out process. That's because of the respect flowing in both directions.
You see them holding that jab hand out there. That's really to find your range, find your distance, see where you can really get comfortable.
Ivanov now bringing up the left hand, loading the left hand. Head movement now from Blagoy Ivanov, slowly trying to walk down Alencar. Body kick just missing. 3:15 remaining round number 1.
Both fighters said they had a really good training camp. Everything went well. You know, both pretty evenly matched in terms of how they finished fights. Blagoy has 5 TKOs, 5 submissions. Alencar has 6 TKOs and 6 submissions. So
this is very tactical in this stand-up from Ivanov. Slowly, he is cutting the angles, slowly walking down Caio Alencar.
He needs to take time. Nobody can take a chance. I mean, their finishing rate is way too high. They understand that if they open up, they're going to get knocked out or submitted.
Once they engage, it's go time.
So often fights are about range. Right now this fight is all about range. Kick to the cup. Time called by Mario Yamasaki.
Blue.
Ivanov will now have up to 5 minutes to recover.
That was a nice little graze on the right thing.
Oh,
see?
that one hurt.
I saw it, yeah. Yes. The pelotas, my friend. Please, not anymore. No, he would say, I'm from Bulgaria. Don't kick me then, okay?
I have nothing to say about this matter. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Yamasaki telling Alencar, I know that was unintentional. Just be aware of those kicks. Time in.
Don't do it
Ivanov taking less than 1 minute of the allotted 5. Round number 1 resumes. And again, Ivanov slowly trying to walk down Alencar.
Really doing a good job of cutting off this cage.
Oh, big right hand from Alencar. Ivanov walking through it. Clever on the switch kick to the outside.
It's a very smart thing because it's a kick that Ivanov doesn't get a lot in training. Nobody kicks the outside leg on the southpaw. Oh, there
Left
we go.
Hand.
Single kicks.
Drew a smile on the face of Alencar.
But you see what I said? Single kicks. Watch out. You're going to get counted.
I'm really surprised by the good footwork by Alencar for being such a big guy. You know, he's moving around the cage really well.
Alencar just feinting the Superman punch.
Whoa.
Nice.
Ivanov now trying to get to the inside. This fight continues to be all about range in this stand-up. Alencar wants it on the outside. Ivanov clearly wants it on the inside. Body kick not getting through from Caio Alencar. See the look of determination on the face of Blagoy. Ivanov eats that right hand from Alencar, and again the Brazilian smiles. 80 seconds remaining, round number 1. Kick perilously close to the cup, but we fight on. No complaints from Ivanov. No warning from Mario Yamasaki. Big left hand.
On a single kick. There we go again.
That's what you talked about earlier, boss.
I've been talking about it for 8 years,
I'm
and
sorry,
still people are doing that.
No
it's
one
amazing.
listens. I know.
No, I know.
I listen. I never kick naked.
Swing and a miss from Alencar.
I love that, the way you said that.
I just kept on going. Did you notice?
I know, because you have to fill time.
I meant without hiding it with my punches. Good night.
Again, the kick to the body from Alencar. Just grazing. Discrepancy with the time on the screen and the official time because of the timeout. Final seconds now, round number 1. We are headed to round 2.
Boom! Oh, every time you throw a single kick, you're open. Don't throw it. See? Because that's what happens. And if it would have had 2 inches further, it would have been a knockout. Just don't take the risk.
Let us know how you scored round number 1 of our main event on Twitter. Remember, use the hashtag PFL Fight Night. Get so pleased that you're with us for
You know
our
what's
final
really
Professional
cool?
Fighters League event of 2017.
Tell me what's really cool.
So all of the fighters, the backdrop that they're sitting behind, that's behind them on the cage, is my foundation, the Fearless Foundation.
Oh.
Just so you guys know. Just wanted to give myself a little shout out right there.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go.
There
Second
you go.
round. You
You
ready?
just give it to me
You ready?
fearless.
Let's go. Come on.
And I'm going to tweet it.
Thank you, boss.
You're very welcome.
Round number 2.
Outside low kick again. Very
Another
smart.
outside low kick.
And again, immediately, Blagoy Ivanov, like he did for so much of round number 1, in stalking mode. Patient.
Alencar really fainting with that kick there.
Yeah, and it could be dangerous because if he's going to kick it, he's going to get countered with the left straight.
Ooh.
Kick again, high on the hip.
See, I would
Just
move
off of the
forward.
cup, that was legal. You see the feints from Ivanov. Encircling Alencar on his bike, moving backwards, feinting with the switch kick, twice in that sequence. Ivanov on the counter kick.
Trading kicks.
I don't really ever see Ivanov throw that many kicks.
Alencar trying to explode in with wide punches, then right back to the outside, exactly where he wants to be.
Ooh, the pills, close to it.
No complaint from Ivanov. Again, the feint on the switch kick, the run up from Alencar.
Oh.
Good right hand on the counter from Ivanov. Rolling under.
He's going to come now. Oh, no.
I think it's safe to say 0 takedown attempts so far in this fight.
3:30 remaining round number 2 of our main event. Another left hand from Ivanov, grazing, he fell off balance. Alencar's mouth suddenly wide open, showing signs of tiring.
See a little blood on Blagoy's face now.
Blagoy.
Blagoy,
I love
even though.
to. You know that movie with Tom Hanks when he's stuck at the airport and he's talking like this? That's what I always think.
You see Alencar slapping away the lead hand of Ivanov. Ivanov not really throwing the jab from the southpaw stance. Kayla, you said in round 1, he's just using it as the rangefinder.
Yeah, but the thing about using it as a rangefinder is eventually you got to throw it. You got to find the range and throw it.
Ivanov doubling up on the left hand, landing neither shot there.
Exactly. I can understand we didn't see straights to the body with the power hand, both sides, because one is the southpaw, the other one's orthodox.
Good left hand from Ivanov. And again, you see slowly, patiently trying to solve the distance. Ivanov ever so slightly turning up the temperature here in round number 2.
We said yesterday we really thought they were both wanting to fight at different ranges, and I think Alencar's really trying hard to keep this at a distance, and Blagoy is just trying to get inside. Oh, there's a takedown attempt.
What we have not seen from Caio Alencar, teep kicks. He has the build for it. Throwing that roundhouse, but 0 teeps in this. The push kick, the front kick, boss.
Yeah, with him, if somebody's a southpaw, the front leg, to use the front leg as a teep kick, it's a very hard thing to do because the body is lined up the wrong way. But the right leg, your power leg, is a really good weapon. I always say,
nice uppercut.
Straight to the body, right uppercuts for the orthodox fighter, inside low kicks.
It's like you say, boss, head, body, head, body, head, body.
Head, body, that's the thing. Keep him guessing, and eventually something's going to land.
Alencar suddenly a bit busier with his jab from the orthodox, the right-handed stance. Another left hand.
Ooh.
Alencar again taking those punches and circling out in time, called by Mario Yamasaki.
Yeah, or you do a head, body, head, body. See, you changed the pattern.
I see what you did there.
No,
do you do
it's
head,
effective.
body, head, to head?
You can do that too. That's very confusing what you did right now, but you can do that too.
All right.
Just like in round number 1 on the low blow, Ivanov has 5 minutes to recover. This on the eye poke into his left eye.
And you can see it.
We're going to go to a replay.
Fica ali, ó. Não sai dali, hein? Não sai dali.
Not the right angle on that one, but I definitely saw in front of me. He got a little bit of an eye a little bit of a finger in his eye, so that doesn't feel good.
The cage side physician from the DC Commission now into the cage, looking at that eye of Blagoy Ivanov. You see, it's the left eye.
Yeah, it makes me think of Matthew 7:1-5. Yeah, I know. It's a weird thing to say. Don't bother about the splinter in your brother's eye. First take care of the log you have in your own eye.
One more look here.
Fight!
I don't know if I was.
Yeah, when he pushed him away at the end. When he pushed him away at the end.
Time in, round number 2 resumes. There was no warning to Alan Carr by Mario Yamasaki, ruling it accidental, and I think that's certainly the correct ruling. Alan Carr continuing to stay on his bike, circling out. Swing and a miss, counter right hand in the left. Big right hand from Ivanov, now taking it to the inside. Unloading, big uppercut. Swing and another big swing on the hook from Alan Carr.
And now the fighter who keeps pushing is going to be the guy. Watch.
Blood on the face of Caio Alan Carr. Right hand from Alan Carr. Still Ivanov walking through. Again, Alan Carr circling out. Fully on his bike now is the Brazilian. Big left hand from the Bulgarian Ivanov. Then the right hand.
And Blagoy's coach is telling him to keep his chin down. You can see as he's trying to strike and open up, his head's coming up just a little bit.
Alan Carr's mouth wide open. Feinting for that shot. Now a side kick.
He needs to step to the right faster so he
Big
can
on
cut
the
him off.
1-2. Right hook and another.
Nice.
Huge shots now from Ivanov. Final seconds, round number 2.
Oh, boy.
Stop. We will go to the third and
Oh,
final round.
Blagoy. You said, oh boy, but I said, oh,
Oh,
Blagoy.
Blagoy. Oh, I like that. I like what you did there.
That's
You
it.
are so smart.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
You're so clever, witty.
Sometimes.
Only one guy, only 2 guys here. Come on.
Into the corner of Caio Alan Carr.
Leave it here.
He's awesome. Wow, look at that. Boom, boom, finishing. Following it up, but what he needs to do simultaneously is cutting him off. Because he lets him escape to the right all the time. So make a faster step to the right. But I liked it. Caio was calling his bluff. He said, oh really? Okay, I'm coming back right now.
You see the abrasion under the left eye of Ivanov? That's the eye in which he was poked. The blood on the face of Alan Carr coming out of the right nostril.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Third and final round. Our final PFL fight of 2017 as we look forward to an outstanding and historic and indeed MMA game-changing 2018. Blagoy Ivanov versus Caio Alan Carr.
You ready? Let's go.
World-class heavyweights. Fight for Children. Fight Night 2017 from the Washington Hilton in the United States capital, Washington, D.C. Perhaps one round apiece. Again, let us know your round-by-round scorecard on Twitter. Use the hashtag PFL Fight Night.
But you know what? To me, it looked like Blagoy said, okay, I want to finish this thing.
That's exactly what it looked like. He put his hands down. He kind of was, shrugging his shoulders a little bit, and then he said, all right, I'm going for it.
It's going. So I believe he's the aggressor right now. He's constantly coming forward. He wants to stop this fight.
Ivanov cutting distance.
But he needs to cut him off. He needs to step more to the right in order to stop his movement from his opponent.
Ivanov showing some head movement. Overhand right hand just missed the mark.
Yeah, Ivanov does a really good job of, as he's striking, getting his head off the center line so that he doesn't get countered. Stepping to the outside.
Ivanov again to the inside. Nicely done by Alan Carr. Driving back Ivanov with the knee. But you see Alan Carr's mouth wide open. It really has been since the early stages of round 2.
Hands are down, mouth is open.
Heavy breathing as well from Blagoy Ivanov.
That's what I want to say. Yeah, both of them right now. It's all about heart. Who's got the biggest heart?
That's the thing about round 3. You find out what you're made of.
Right hand, then the left. Better sequence than the left hand from Ivanov on the counter.
And it connected behind the ear, which is always a better spot.
Alan Carr, when he takes big shots from Ivanov throughout this fight, circles out, pulls out, establishes distance.
He does a really good job of recovering from those nasty attacks.
3:10 remaining, third and final round. Not quite a rear teep kick, but close, almost a Savat kick, boss.
It was,
takedown attempt here.
Looking for the single, nothing there.
Blagoy shrugs it off.
Once you throw with the back leg, it's not a teep anymore. And the way they're blading, that's why you can't use your front leg for a teep. That was nice. Right kick to the body, to the spleen. Right.
Ivanov walking through it as he has walked through so many Alencar strikes in this fight.
Yeah, for Ivanov, it would be better to throw a left kick to the body because that's where we have the liver from the opponent. A little bit more tender than the spleen.
Good right hand from Caio Alencar. 2:25 now remaining, third and final round of our main event.
Right now, with the aggression and one round up to each, I would say at this particular moment, I would say Ivanov is going to take this fight. If he
I think so. I think so. Plus, you got, you know, a couple questionable maneuvers by Alencar that's definitely going to be in the judges' minds from the earlier rounds.
Yep.
Under the unified rules, ABC scoring system, before you consider anything else, it's effective striking / effective grappling. This has been all striking, so think about effective striking in round 1. For me, that's Alencar. Effective striking in round 2. For me, that's Ivanov.
I wonder why we don't see more body shots right now, because both these guys are getting tired. They're heavyweights. Throw body shots, and especially the right straight and the power hand, I should say, because Alencar
good kick to the body.
Throws the left to the body, right to the body, and Ivanov should throw the left straight to the body.
Blagoy is doing a really good job of controlling the cage, though. I think all 3 rounds, he really maintained the center of the cage and sort of established dominance.
Good left hand from Ivanov.
And now he should go back to the body and then to the head.
Heavy breathing from Alencar.
It's a hard thing to do
1
as a
minute
fighter,
left.
though.
As we talked about in our co-main event, Lance Palmer versus Steven Seiler, you can win a round being the bottom fighter. This is a similar situation. You can win a round in stand-up being the backwards and laterally moving fighter, which is what Alencar is. Not to say he's necessarily winning this round, but it's very close. 45 seconds remaining, third and final round. Right hand from Ivanov.
Yeah, he knows right now that he's going, and he sees his opponent going down on the stamina in the stamina department. He needs to pull it up right now.
Ivanov continuing
30
to walk
seconds.
forward. Not getting that left hand through.
One big left straight to the body.
Ooh.
Playing and clowning from Alencar. Ivanov just missing
Hands are
fully with the
down.
left hand. Head kick
Nice
not
head
getting
kick.
through. Trying to change the tempo. Good left hand. Flush on the chin from Ivanov. Final seconds now of this heavyweight fight. Another left hand from Ivanov. The bell, 15 minutes up, 15 minutes down. And the push to the back of the head by Alencar. I'm not sure if that was being sporting or that was being a bit rough.
I would have slapped him. No. That was just a friendly thing, like, okay, thank you for this fight.
Ivanov didn't react as though it was friendly.
Because he could have, he could have thought it was completely wrong.
He just walked away.
I honestly think Ivanov's just a little bit too tired to react to anything right
You
now.
guys like, listen, I'm going to stop. Look at this. Boom!
Nice.
That's what I always say. No single
You see the legs
kick.
buckle a little bit there? Ooh,
Yep.
that's pretty.
But he kept in there. He stayed in
He
there.
certainly did.
That's a nice thing to know after a fight. If you get hit a lot, but you kept going, it's a good,
Well, and I mean-
power to bring to the next
Oh,
fight.
yeah, and we've seen Blagoy. We know how hard he hits. So the fact that Alencar can take those right on the chin and keep coming, I'm extremely impressed.
The DC Commission is outstanding. Headed by Skip Brown, he is assigned the judges. The winner to be determined now by the 3 DC judges.
Hungry.
Okay, now we can talk about it. What was the injury that Blagoy had? What was the injury? Kayla.
Oh, yeah. So a little birdie told me that while Blagoy was getting taped up, getting his hands wrapped up in the back, that he seemed to be in a lot of pain when his left hand was getting taped up, and that it may be broken. So that could be one of the reasons he was a little bit hesitant in the beginning of the fight to throw anything.
Because yesterday we were talking about it in the fighters' meetings that we had, the interviews. He was off.
He was really
kinda
off
sick,
yesterday.
There was something going on.
He was really off. I've met him a couple times. He's always been really nice to me. Always wants to talk about the Bulgarian judo team and everything that's going on. And yesterday it was just, yes, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yes, good training. Thank you. Bye.
That was it. You summed it up.
Let's go, let's Let's go, let's go.
It was a funny interview, though. I loved it because he was smiling, and he goes, "Yeah, what you said." You know, even if he didn't understand it.
Exactly.
Time to end all suspense with Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds in our main event, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Steven Rados and Wayne Smith score the fight 29-28. Paul Wallace scores it 29-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. Blagoy Baga
Now 16-1 with 1 no contest, and Blagoy Ivanov just keeps on rolling. The winner by way of unanimous decision in our main event of the evening, Blagoy Ivanov defeats Caio Alencar. For Jazz Securo, Boss Root, Kayla Harrison, Jake Glazer, and everyone with PFL, I'm Sean Wheelock. Thanks for watching Fight Night 2017, Fight for Children. This is Professional Fighters League.
Good job, brother. Thank you.
You killed it.